Is your independence actually a trauma response? Let's be real. We admire people who don't need anyone, the ones who carry everything on their shoulders, who never ask for help. But what if that fierce independence isn't a personality trait, but a survival instinct? Have you ever thought, I can't rely on anyone but myself? Do you feel uneasy when people try to help you? Do you push through exhaustion because asking for support feels worse than struggling alone? That's not just being independent. That's hyper-independence, and it's often the result of trauma. When I'll do it myself. Started as I had no choice. Think back. Was there a time when asking for help wasn't an option? Maybe you grew up in a home where no one was there for you. Maybe you learned that vulnerability were weakness. Or maybe the people you trusted the most were the ones who let you down. So, you stopped asking. You stopped expecting. You became everything for yourself because no one else was. But what happens when that survival strategy becomes a prison? You don't trust people? Or are you just afraid to need them? Let's be honest. Hyper-independence isn't just about not needing people. It's about not wanting to risk being let down again. Maybe you have said to yourself, if I never depend on anyone, no one can disappoint me. If I never ask for help, no one can reject me. If I keep my emotions to myself, no one can use them against me. It makes sense, right? But here's the thing. When you push people away to protect yourself, you're also keeping out the people who actually care. Hyper-independence is just loneliness dressed up as strength. We tell ourselves we don't need anyone. We call it self-sufficiency. But at night, when it's quiet, doesn't it feel a little lonely? You don't want to burden people, but wouldn't you be there for them if they needed you? You never ask for help, but doesn't it feel good when someone sees you struggling and steps in anyway? You never lean on anyone, but doesn't it get tiring pretending you don't want to? What if independence wasn't about isolation, but about healthy connection? What if you could be strong and supported at the same time? So, how do you learn to accept help without feeling weak? This part is tough, I know. If you've spent years being the, I got it person, suddenly letting people in feels wrong. But here's where you start. Notice when you automatically reject help. Catch yourself before saying, no, I'm fine. Let small things in. Accept that coffee someone offers. Let a friend carry the extra bag. Remind yourself, needing help is not the same as being helpless. Say yes to support, just once, and see what happens. You don't have to let go of independence. But maybe, just maybe, you don't have to carry it all alone either. Final thought, maybe you were never meant to do it all alone. Hyper-independence was never a choice. It was a reaction to being let down, and I get it. But imagine a version of you that still has strength but doesn't have to fight alone. Imagine feeling safe enough to ask for help without fear. Imagine trusting again, not recklessly, but carefully, with the right people. Because maybe real strength isn't about how much you carry, but about knowing when to put something down.